Welcome back to Clagwell's Garage. Today is going to be a real quick tech tip video. I think a lot of people already know this, but this is just a good friendly reminder for those out there that aren't sure. So, Geiger counters, scintillation detectors, all the types of stuff that we generally collect from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even part into the 90s, use high impedance voltage sources to drive the Geiger tubes, the pancake probes, and even photomultiplier tubes used in classic scintillation detectors like this from the uranium boom era. So, in order to properly and accurately and safely determine the voltage on these types of systems, you cannot use a regular voltmeter, DVM, or something like this that you get at the hardware store. In fact, if you tried using something like this on a high impedance voltage source, you're essentially shorting out the high voltage leads on your system, and you could potentially damage the oscillator circuit, causing further headaches. So you don't want that. But what you do want are things like this. So these are just the two that I use. I mean, there's obviously other high impedance voltmeters out there, but these have served me quite well. And so I've got two. I've got this one here that reads voltage only. It's currently hooked up to the CDV 700 through its connection over here. And as we know, the CDV 700 uses a 6993 Geiger tube, which is supposed to operate per the manual between 900 and 930 volts. So we can see that I'm running at about 924 volts, which is about right where it's supposed to be. Now let's move on up to this other unit. This does exactly the same thing, but it also actually has what's called a pulsar up on the top, which allows you to do basic calibration. And I'm going to get into that in a future video. It's really kind of a unique system. Anyhow, so let's say your Geiger counter does not have some sort of SHV or BNC connector where you can just quickly, run the wires and test. You can get something like this. These are common on Amazon and eBay and stuff. It's basically the same thing with a couple of clip leads on it. And if you're safe about it and you get into the high voltage circuitry and you know where to tap off at, you can actually clip lead onto the high voltage sources and register your voltage that way. So again, to recap, don't use a classic voltmeter. Make sure you get yourself a high impedance voltmeter, and then you are good to go. So we'll leave you at that. Be safe, everybody. Don't play around with high voltage. If you don't know what you're doing with that stuff, then just don't do it. So anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, ask questions, leave suggestions, what have you.